Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. When you hear that sound, you know it's time for tech news. Now, South Africans are well familiar with the high cost of mobile data. And last year, the Competition Commission released a report looking into the data market here in South Africa. Now, as a result, a new package of solutions and agreements is now being discussed with mobile network providers across. And here to help us unpack what changes could be forthcoming is our friend in tech, Bryan Smith. Good morning, Bryan.
Good morning. Thank you. It's great to be back.
Always great to have you here, buddy. When did the Competition Commission become involved? Why did they decide to weigh in?
Absolutely. So I think this is something that's pretty fundamental to every South African's lives, is that we all have a livelihood on the internet, whether that's connecting with friends and family or perhaps running a business. It unlocks so much opportunity, but unfortunately here in South Africa, the cost of mobile data is incredibly high.
Prohibitively high, yeah.
Unfortunately, one of the major reasons for that is mobile networks have had to go out and build their own infrastructure, unlike in other countries where government will create allocations on bandwidth or have their own networks. Our mobile network companies have had to do that all themselves. So one of the best ways to recoup that cost and obviously justify its expense in the first place is create competitive data bundles. So as a result of sort of consumer outcry the past couple of years, as well as movements such as data must fall, if you remember, the Competition Commission has stepped in to review exactly how much we pay for mobile data and whether this is justified or could be made more affordable here in South Africa. The end emphasis is trying to find more affordable ways for South Africans to connect to the internet.
Where are we looking now? Like, what resolutions have been agreed upon? What good changes can be coming? How we use data, how we buy data?
So there are a couple of really interesting resolutions that could change the way we interact and use mobile data bundles. I've got to stress that all of these essentially are on the conversation table, so nothing here is set in stone. One really interesting idea is affording South Africans with essentially a daily cap of data. This might be quite small, something up to 50 megabytes, but just enough to be able to get someone on the internet, perhaps to access school resources or university resources that they're studying or make business connections. Another is looking at sort of making a more affordable packages below the 1 gigabyte mark, so making more affordable entry-level data bundles around the 500 megabytes mark for South Africans to be able to connect far more easily. The other is something that many South African network providers are actually already doing, and that's informing customers proactively as they continue to deplete their mobile data bundles. So, for example, if you were working in quarters, for every 25% you would be informed to say, for example, you've got 50% of your mobile data cap remaining, and that's a really useful way to track your expenses and obviously plan out how much data you have and how much you might need to buy or use in the near future.
All great ideas, as you say, but currently on the conversation table. When will these be set in stone? When are we likely to see these become a reality?
So the talks are currently ongoing with mobile network providers, and as I say, nothing is set in stone, but we should be able to see some early resolutions by the end of this month into March. But however, in business terms, this might take somewhat longer to roll out and actually reach customers, but definitely throughout the course of this year, we will see some sort of tangible change in the way we actually interact with mobile data, and that'll be really exciting for consumers, I think, throughout South Africa, no matter whether you're a student, whether you're young, old, we all use our mobile data and phones in some way, and to be able to access the internet and communicate is so vitally important.
Yep, but don't be streaming on your mobile device just yet. We still have to exercise caution and be responsible with the way that you use your data, because the responsibility is still on your shoulders as we speak. Thank you so much, Bryan.
Thank you.
Always awesome to connect with you, keeping your finger on the pulse. You can get the latest tech news. In fact, you can keep yourself updated with bandwidthblog.com, a fantastic resource. Go and use your data on that this morning.